happy for us to record this to share with the team that couldn't jump on?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right. Welcome, everybody, to another Monday night call. I'm Christine Drummond, and it's a great pleasure that I get to introduce this powerhouse woman that I've been following, I think it's been over 12 months. I've never actually spoken to Mel in person, so this is the first time we're actually meeting outside of Messenger. But after watching her for so long, I feel like we are so aligned in so many ways. And, she's going to take us through a beautiful breathwork technique tonight, and she's going to share a little bit of her story and how she got into this breath work and what she does for work, and hopefully you can draw some inspiration, but also use this as a practice in your everyday life to gain realignment with yourself and really calm yourself and reduce stress and all those beautiful things that come along with a practice like this. So Mel, I'm going to let you take it away, honey. Share with the people who you are, what you're about, how you got into this, and then do what you need to do tonight. And thank you so much for your time and for being here.
Honoured. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, and honoured to be here with you guys tonight. It's my passion and my thing to really guide back people into their breath, because I feel like we've lost the connection with ourselves, and breath is the first thing that can really ground you and meet you in every moment. So I studied rebirthing, which is the technique that I teach when I do a lot of the longer breathing sessions, probably about 24 years ago. And it was way out there when I actually was introduced to rebirthing, and I sort of was in the spiritual closet doing all this really out there stuff and working at nightclubs in the night. So I had a really broad spectrum of what my life was like. So as I've moved through and really stepped into from sort of health coaching into my intuitive sort of life coaching and channeling and healing, the breath has always been the main thing that I've found work through everything. I'm a yoga teacher as well, so the breath really aligns you back to your body, and the body is the place that we really need to start to feel safe in, so we can ground everything that we're doing. And especially with a team like you guys, where you want to be aligned and you're in business and you want to be completely congruent and authentic with what you're doing, it's really important to have the breath to come back to meet you in every moment. So the breath can be as simple as grounding you in your body. The breath can meet you when you're really overwhelmed or anxious. It can really bring you into the present moment, which is where you want to be when you're dealing with clients and people, because they really want to feel you. And if you are in your head, people are going to feel that you're thinking and not know what that feeling is. If you want to be really trusted and authentic and connected to the people that you're working with, then you've really got to come from the heart center. And a lot of us avoid being here because we have feelings that we haven't dealt with. And then that sort of keeps us a little bit separate from who we truly are, and we may be a little bit scared to see. So as we go into the deeper breathwork techniques, this is where we can get to really sort of work on those deeper levels of ourselves. Maybe some of the things that we haven't wanted to feel, or things in the past that, have maybe unconsciously now that are limiting us in our everyday life, how we relate to people, how we relate to ourselves. And those belief systems that we create normally are created between 0 and 7. And a lot of that is unconscious, and we're not even aware how that plays through our life now as an adult person. It's really stuck in that sort of inner child, younger moments of our life where we're just in our sort of subconscious mind, where everything is we hear, we see, we feel. So once we start to move into our logical mind and we get older, we wonder why we're emotionally reacting a certain way, or we have this monkey mind that comes up with these crazy thoughts that sort of, that we're not good enough, or we're this or that, and it just keeps keeping us in our mind and distracting us from what's really going on, which is in here. So the breath allows us to really come back to the body, to feel and align. Then again, once we move the feeling that's blocking us, the limiting beliefs, the feelings that we're trying to avoid, we move through that fear and we get to really understand why we felt that way. And what the breath can do is move the logical mind out of the way to get you back into those those sort of illogical thoughts, because we didn't have logic back then. So we get to feel these thoughts and feelings and see them for what they are, sitting in this empowered adult self that we are now. So we get to really sort of clear a lot of that without the mind getting in the way. And when you get to do that, you step into a newfound freedom of being really authentic. Your relationships start to change. You can really understand how you now relate, why you relate to people the way you do, and why you've maybe limited yourself, or why things go around in this sort of life loop where you all of a sudden get back to the same place. You think, yes, I'm so excited, I want to do this, and all of a sudden you get back to this place, or you're back in the same relationship, or you just go around in this circle. So the breath will really take you out of the loop, bring you back into your physical body, and start to clear, because what we do over time is, from that really sort of core moment when from 0 to 7, what happens is, through life, as life happens, when we go through trauma, we experience something where we feel separated from love, and we don't feel validated or seen, we start to hold our breath. And then we store that on a cellular level somewhere in our body. So when we do that, that sits in our unconscious. So our unconscious is really our physical form. So when we start to breathe and we connect the breathing, especially in that rebirthing sort of breath, we're opening and unlocking things from a cellular level, and it just starts to move. It starts to flow, and we see things from a different place. It's not from the mind where it's judging it. We see it from this place of feeling. And we get this clarity, this deep clarity and broad perspective of why we do what we do. So it's really, really powerful. It's powerful from the moment that it's just that daily breath where we get to really sort of connect and calm ourselves down, to just sit in our truth and to listen to our guidance from our intuition, not the mind. And then we sort of get to do that deeper healing with the connected breathing, where we can really clear shit out. Because like really, if you don't feel it, you can't heal it. And we've been taught that feelings are a bad thing, but I'm all about getting into the darker aspects of supposedly darker aspects of ourselves. But really, it's just shit that people that you just have held on to, that you have created fear around, that if you feel it again, it's going to be traumatic. But it's not really, because all it's doing is holding you back, and it's keeping you small, and it's keeping you separated from truly like embodying all that you're here to be, and really walking the path of your truth. So what I want to do tonight, I won't yabber on too much so I can get right deep and go down all these little pathways. So what I want to do right now, I just want to give you 2 simple breath techniques. I'm going to introduce you to a really calming breath that I find, if you struggle to meditate and you struggle to be sitting for a little, this is a really good one to get out of your mind. It's just a really simple 6 breath, but it's a really great way just to calm everything down, connect you into your body, and just slow everything down. So you can really just start to feel the body, the mind starts to slow down, and you can just be in the present moment. So it's a perfect one if you find meditation really hard. And then once we sort of do that, and I'll get you really present in the moment, then we're going to move into just a daily breath, which will be the circular breathing. So this will just give you a really small taste of the longer journey that I do, and a few different things, but it'll just give you just 2 different connections to how powerful the breath can be. And that's all I really want to introduce to you tonight. And then if you ever want to jump on, I'm doing a few free online ones that will take you into some deeper breath work, some bit longer breath work, seeing we've only got a short time. But it's just a beautiful connection to yourself, and it's a really powerful tool to start, really embodying everything you are. So tonight we're going to start off with the 6th breath. So if you can get really, really comfortable, you can sit for this one, you can sit for both of them actually. Just find yourself where you can close your eyes down now. I just want you to spend this time just in this moment for you. So even if you've got kids still going to bed and things are a little busy, I just want you to really notice the sounds around you when you close your eyes down. Because if you can get this technique moving when there's a lot of chaos around you, you've got shit going on, because life is never going to be perfect and we can't control what's going on outside of us. But when we can really tap into what's going on inside of us, then we can see how we react. And our reaction to the world around us, to things around us, are really showing us what's going on deep within ourselves. So I want you to just calm the breath down. I want you to feel yourself sitting on your chair. If you've got your feet on the ground, I want you to feel your feet on the ground. And I just want you to breathe and just notice the breath. You don't have to change your breath, but I want you to notice where you're breathing from. Are you breathing from the top part of your lungs? Are you breathing deeply? How's your body feeling in this moment? Do you feel a little bit stressed? To just scan your body and just notice any tension you may be holding in any areas. Any pain from exercise, tight shoulders, maybe your head spinning a little. Just notice how your body's feeling, because our body's always speaking to us. It's when we're busy that we disconnect from our body and the messages that it's always giving us. So it's really important to check in with the body. So now I want you to slowly start to breathe in through the nose. So in through the nose, nice deep breath in through the nose. And then we can exhale with a big sigh. Feel the shoulders fall away from the ears. Just feeling really present in this moment. Another deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, a big sigh. Just relaxing. Just moving any energy through the body as you just really sit and find this present moment. Now as you're sitting on the ground, it's really important when we start any meditation to feel really grounded. So I want you to imagine if you're sitting, that your bottom is sitting on the chair, your feet are on the ground, and I want you to really see roots moving out of your feet now, moving down and grounding you into Mother Earth. See yourself rooting yourself into the middle of the earth. So we can see the roots growing around the earth. I want you to feel really supported and grounded in this moment by Mother Earth. Just taking nice slow breaths in through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth. As you visualize in your mind's eye yourself rooting to Mother Earth, I just want you to take a moment to really feel her support. Feel how grounded and solid she is as she holds you in this moment, connecting you, supporting you, and grounding you into your physical body. Beautiful. Now I want you to start to draw that breath up through the feet as you breathe in through the nose, all the way through the legs, up the body, into the chest. Whoop. And a big exhale out of the mouth. Nice deep exhale out of the mouth. Let it all go. Beautiful. Now I just want you to come back to your breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Now I want you to start to bring the breath in from the lower belly. So if you're unaware of where you're breathing from, maybe put your hand or your fingers around your belly button in a diamond shape. So as you inhale, we want the breath to rise from the lower belly. So you'll feel your belly button move away from your spine. Then you'll draw it slowly up through the chest, into the heart. Feel the shoulders expand. But we don't want the shoulders to come up. We want them to drop down and open up. And then I want you to slowly exhale out of the mouth. So the chest will fall first. Then the belly will fall back to the spine. So this may feel a little uncomfortable as we deepen the breath. It may get stuck as you move it up through the chest. But each time, just feel yourself expanding on the inhale, opening a little more, deepening the breath. And as you exhale, really relaxing and letting everything go with each exhale. So inhale, belly rises. Move it up through the chest, opening it up. Allow the shoulders to fall away. Feel that expansion. And just let it slowly fall out of the mouth as the chest falls and the belly falls back to the spine. Just notice with each inhale how you feel as you nurture yourself, as you open and expand to receive this beautiful inhale. And then exhale, letting everything go. Feel with that exhale, your shoulders fall, your body relax. Everything just falls away from the body. We're going to do one last deep breath from the lower belly. So bring the belly rises, chest rises, chest falls on the exhale, belly falls back to spine. Now we're going to start to draw the breath in and we're going to count for 6. So as you slowly draw the breath in, counting for 6, draw it up into the chest, up into the area of your throat, your shoulders. Feel the shoulders fall away from the ears. Now I want you to hold the breath for 6. Now, when I say hold, it's not this contraction. I want you to relax. Feel this space as there's nothing to do in that 6 hold. And then I want you to exhale for 6. So the chest comes back, belly comes back to spine, exhaling for 6. And then we get to the bottom of the breath, we're going to hold it for 6 here. To really feel that beautiful space where there's absolutely nothing to do on the holds. Notice if you can let go of your body and surrender a little more into those holds. Then as you inhale, nice and slowly, we're balancing the inhale and the exhale out. So we're balancing the masculine and feminine, the breath, and the masculine and feminine in our body. So as you inhale for 6, belly rises, chest rises, hold for 6, find that beautiful space of nothingness. Exhale for 6, chest falls, belly falls back to spine, and then holding at the bottom of the breath, just pausing where there's absolutely nothing to do. And just keep cycling that breath through your body. Inhale for 6, hold for 6, exhale for 6, and hold for 6. And just observe your mind. If it starts to chatter or you're wondering what you're doing, if you're breathing right, maybe it gets a bit tight in the chest, just notice the chatter and bring it back to the counting. Because this is really training your mind just to have space where there's no thought. And the beautiful part of counting the breath is it distracts the mind to be really present in the moment. So if we keep bringing ourselves back to the breath, counting the breath, then we're really present in our body. There's no mind chatter going on. Just observe the thought. If the thought comes in, just come back to counting, come back to the breath. Don't go down that thought pathway, down that emotion where it's trying to distract you from this present moment, this powerful moment where you're really grounded, you're connected to your breath, and you're just allowing yourself to be really present with the breath and the body. Start to notice how you're feeling as you inhale, receiving, opening, expanding, holding, just finding that space, that nothingness. And then as you exhale, really releasing, letting go, and allowing the body just to completely just surrender into this moment. So just keep cycling that breath through for another few minutes. Inhale for 6. Hold for 6, exhale for 6, and hold for 6. Just finding your rhythm, noticing how it feels as your body starts to let go. Notice if the mind is busy, just observe and come back to the present moment, come back to the breath. Keep counting and trusting and feeling a little more relaxed with each breath, as you let go and surrender with each exhale, receive and expand with each inhale. Find that beautiful space of nothingness in the holds. And just taking your last 6 breaths now. Inhaling, holding, exhaling and holding. And then just coming back to your normal breath after your last round of 6 breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth. And just observe how you're feeling now. Notice if you're feeling more relaxed. Your mind might be really busy and a bit anxious. Sometimes that can happen. Just stay really present with your body, any feelings that are moving through the body. And just noticing and observing. And knowing at any time you can come back to this really present, grounded, relaxed state. This is the place where it's your power, you're connected to your intuition, and you can really hear and be guided from your higher self. This is your place of power. This is your superpower in this moment. So allow yourself to really practice this breath so you can become really present and grounded and connected to really be guided and creative in how you use your power, your connection, your work, your presence. And just taking another deep inhale through your nose. Exhaling out of the mouth. And just bringing yourself back into your body now, into this present moment. Just wiggling your toes and your fingers. And opening your eyes when you're ready. Just feeling really present in the moment. And you can move around a little. And we're back. So that's just a really, really simple breath. And people just can really complicate breath work. But really all it is being really conscious of your breath. And most of us spend our time breathing up here. And what happens is that keeps us in that real fight and flight, that anxious state all the time. So as soon as we drop the breath into the lower belly, everything calms down. And once you're out of your mind, the mind is busy counting, everything just starts to align. Everything slows down and you can really hear. This is the place you want to come from and listen from that intuitive place. Not the craziness of the mind, because you're going to burn out there. You need to be in that flow where everything just aligns and you trust what's serving you in each moment. And it's not always going to be pushing. It's not always going to be hustling. There's so much power in being still and present in the moment. So, it's a beautiful space to note, especially if you're a real doing person, active person. Everything's always moving. Sometimes being quiet and going within can be a little uncomfortable. So use that breath and, let me know how you go. If you've got any questions, just put them in the chat box and I'm happy to answer, and we can, but let me know how that went for you if you want to just let me know how that went. And so then that breath we can use, and I'll send you guys the PDF for that, so you can just follow that through and use that at any time. But if you need a meditation and breath work, that's a perfect one, and I use that any time. I'll sit in the car and do it. I'll sit on the toilet when the kids are crazy and do it. And it's a really nice one just to check out and ground yourself into your body. So you can just be really present with what's going on, and the chaos just doesn't seem as crazy. So I highly recommend that one. So this one I want to teach you now is going to be a little deeper. And this is a very small snippet and something that you can use every day. And if you're really active too, this is a great one if you're feeling a bit sluggish before you work out. This is a great one to do in the morning to really move stuff through your body. But it's a really, what's that one? I really like that one. It literally lightens my head. Yes. How long do you recommend doing that 6 months? I would just go for however long you want on that 6th breath. I'm sorry, I've just gone back to that. I would go however you feel. Work with your own body. Some days you may need a little longer, but I would at least give yourself a good, 5 minutes just doing that 6th breath. If you've only got a minute, then you just use that minute. To me, I don't complicate it. I just try and use it whenever I feel anxious or overwhelmed. And what I like to notice is it my head? If my head's really busy and I'm feeling really overwhelmed, then I know I'm stuck here. Because it's really limiting when you're in the mind space and there's time restrictions. And so if you can imagine the mind as something that is limiting you and it's making everything feel really crazy and it's very time orientated, and you want to create that space, you can't create space outside of yourself. You really need to create that internally. So find that calm first, and you'll find that there's just space and you're more productive in how you do things because the mind's not distracting you the whole time. So when you get really crazy, or if you have something to do and you know it's going to take time, just give yourself 5 minutes away from the computer and breathe and do that 6th breath, because things will get really clear for you and you'll get so much more productive, and the connections you'll make will come from the right place, not because you feel like you have to. And people really feel what's going on when you're present and grounded in your body. So I'd highly recommend that anytime. And as meditation as well, even before you go to bed, it's really nice. So now I want to open you up to the circular breathing. And the circular breathing is really powerful, like I said, because you're opening up the channels in your body. You're really moving some stuck energy. You're connecting all the cells together and you're moving all the old past stuff out and opening up to this beautiful energy within. So this is just going to give you a really small snippet of what it feels like, because it can be quite a different feeling in the body. And When I do the full experience, it's an hour. We're breathing connectively for an hour. And I'm guiding you through that breath, and it allows you to completely drop out of the mind and experience and see things in moments. And when we breathe into the lungs, we're opening up that DMT. So you're opening up this love hormone. You're seeing life from a different perspective and things that may have happened and why you feel it's like this full journey of your life, and you get this real clarity of different things. And we hold a lot of grief and fear in our lungs. So when you start connecting that, we allow that to move out of the body with just effortlessness. And you know, you may feel emotional, then that just, you can just move that and just move with that with ease and grace without it being like traumatic all the time. You know, we can connect to those parts of ourselves that we may fear, and it just moves through the body without it feeling like terrible. And it's actually a relief that you can get to connect to this and just move through it with so much ease and have clarity on so much and why things are happening to you in this moment. So this is a beautiful daily breath, but I'll introduce you to the circular breathing first. So when we circular breathe, we focus mainly on the sort of throat and the chest area. So you know how I taught you to breathe down the bottom here to relax everything? Now I'm teaching you up here. So this is a different breath. We're coming into this space here. So what we're doing now, the reason we go back to this breath is we are connecting back in a sense to that first moment we breathe. So it's that into the back of the throat. So that's that first breath where it's real. So the inhale is really active. The exhale is a real release. The inhale is active. The exhale just lets go. So there's only that one part. So just allow it to move. So if you can visualize a circle, so it's a and open your mouth. While you're sitting here watching and listening, I want you to really massage into your jaw, into that TMJ there. Notice how much tension you hold here. When we start breathing, what happens, everyone thinks they've got these big wide mouths, and all of a sudden they go, and they're breathing through this little tiny hole in their mouth. So this is a really, just notice how much that's not speaking your truth. That's holding everything in. We're jamming it down. So just notice how tight we get through this sentence. So what we're doing is we're opening up here, opening the throat, opening the mouth, so we can really connect everything here to start it flowing again. So once you've done that, I want you to just have a little practice with me first. So we're going to drop the jaw open, and then we're going to start the breath. So it's an inhale connects to the exhale. So there's no pauses between the inhale and the exhale because we don't want to hyperventilate. It's that beautiful flow. You'll find your own rhythm when you do this, but it's a you may feel a little bit lightheaded at first. You might feel little tingly feelings through your body. So just notice these sensations and just keep breathing through them. The first thing we don't want to do is go, oh, and tighten up. So we want to expand. We don't want to contract when we're breathing. We just want to allow all the feelings, because what it's doing is if you feel tight, restricted, you know, as you breathe longer in these techniques, you can start finding your hands can tense up, and this is just all stuck energy. So as we breathe into it and we lean into the breath more, and we start trusting and surrendering it, it just opens that and we can sort of let go. So you'll notice when you first start breathing, if you haven't done this, it's going to feel a little weird, and that's perfectly normal. And you'll have different sensations. It's kind of going, oh, I can observe that and I can keep breathing. I'm trusting the breath. You aren't going to do anything with the breath that is going to hurt you. You can only really open yourself up and let go. It may feel fearful because the mind will get involved, but just come back to the breath each time and just the feelings that are in your body and keep trusting that. So what we're going to do, and this is, I'll send you this as well. So what you can do is we're going to do 10 breaths, and then we're going to hold for 10. And when I say hold, like I did in the 6th breath, I don't want it to be hold, okay? We want to really like let go, shoulders fall away. Just feel the face softening. Just feel how relaxed you can be when there's nothing going on. You're just sort of holding the breath, but you're completely relaxing. And you'll notice we'll go 10 breaths, hold for 10, 20 breaths, hold for 20, 30 breaths, hold for 30. So you may go, oh, I can't hold for 30, but you'll find you'll be so oxygenated. But just notice that urge to breathe, and you can just swallow if you like. And that just helps you hold the breath a little longer. really beautiful way to count, so you're not thinking, is to use your fingers. So I count with my fingers when I'm doing this, as you find your own thing. So just put your hands on your lap and just use your fingers to count the breath. And then you're not going, oh, where am I at? What am I doing? Is the breath right? You can't do it wrong. This is the first time maybe you've tried this. So just play with the breath, and it's just going to it's going to be one of those things you're just going to have to practice and, jump on and experiment a little more and do some longer sessions. But this is just going to give you a real experience tonight of what the circular breathing is and just how powerful it can be just in doing it this way. And I want you to observe the sensations in your body, how it makes you feel, and, hopefully integrate this into your daily self-care routine as well. So just really ground yourself down again. We're going to close our eyes and just feel really connected again. Just nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Just feel that sigh. Feel the shoulders fall away from your ears. And just feel really grounded in your body. Nice deep inhale again through the nose. Exhale. Just notice any fear of moving into a different breath that you may have not felt before. And now we're going to drop the jaw open nice and wide, and let's begin. We're going to start for 10. So count your own 10. So let's begin. Inhale connects to the exhale. Open the mouth nice and wide. Keep the breath circulating. Inhale, exhale. And then when you get to the end of your 10, close your mouth down. You can swallow if you like. And just feel the shoulders fall away from the ears. Just notice the sensations and this beautiful energy that's flowing through your body right now. Just noticing the difference and just how you're feeling. And when you finish your hold for 10, just allow the breath to fall out of the body. And then coming back with a nice deep inhale through the nose. And a big exhale out of the mouth. Just notice how you're feeling. Lick your lips now and take a nice deep swallow. And then let's come now into our 20 breaths. So we're expanding a little more now. So open the jaw nice and wide. And then let's begin. Nice deep inhale through the mouth. So just notice if you feel uncomfortable, just keep breathing through it. This is a new experience for your body, a new way of breathing. Connecting the inhale to the exhale. Keep it moving. So really draw the inhale in, let the exhale fall out. See that circular motion of the breath. Inhale connects to the exhale. Keep it rhythmically moving through the body. Trust the breath and how you're feeling. That's it. Open the mouth nice and wide. And then as you count your 20, when you get to the end of your 20, just close the mouth down. Lick your lips. And just hold the breath. And I want you to feel that expansion of nothingness. Notice all the beautiful energy moving through your body right now. How are you feeling as you create this internal energy moving through your body as it's shifting and opening on a cellular level? And when you finish holding for 20, just allow the breath to fall out of the body. And then taking a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Shoulders fall away from the ears. And just licking your lips, a nice deep swallow. And let's get ready now for the 30 breaths. So just dropping the jaw open nice and wide. Nice throat breath, so really draw it back into the throat. Beautiful. Keep the mouth nice and wide. Really draw it into the back of the throat, like you're experiencing the breath for the first time, opening up to this new sensation and way of breathing, connecting every cell of your body to the breath as you circular breathe. Inhale, open up and expand. Exhale, let go. Keep moving it as you draw it in and out. Find that circle and find your rhythm. Count with your fingers. Keep counting the breath. Stay connected to your own rhythm as you count and keep moving through the breath. Notice any sort of tension that comes up as you start to deepen into this experience. Keep trusting the breath and moving with it. If you feel a little lightheaded, that's okay. Keep moving the breath through the body. Just noticing and observing any sensation that moves through your body. Finding your rhythm and this connection to your breath as you're opening up your body, opening up to this healing breath, connecting and letting go. So inhale, receive, exhale, release. When you get to the end of your 30, close your mouth down and you can swallow and just allow everything to completely relax. Feel the shoulders relax a little more. If you feel a little anxiety, a little tension, just swallow again and just be conscious of letting go and just observing the feelings that are moving through the body. Keep counting till you end your 30. Just being with the nothingness and the space that you've allowed, and this beautiful energy you're moving through your bodies, you're shifting, expanding. And when you finish your hold, just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale out of the mouth. Just let it all go. And just take a few moments to really observe how you're feeling. I want you to notice maybe any feelings that may have arisen just through that breath work. You may feel really annoyed or angry and anxious, and that's completely normal as you start to move into this breath, because it makes you feel uncomfortable, starts to move that. And what that's moving is that top emotion, that there's some deeper stuff that's just brewing underneath. So just stay present with whatever you're feeling. And just notice as you move through, if you feel a little anxious later on tonight, just come back to that 6th breath and really integrate everything down into the body. You may want to journal. You can stand on the ground, just ground yourself in, have a nice bath after this. But this is just a beautiful, you can open your eyes now and come back into the moment. Just bring yourself really present. But that's just a really beautiful breath, and that's just a really small snippet of how powerful the circular breathing can be. And when you do that over, a longer period of time, or even use that in short spurts with different other breath work, it can really sort of open yourself up to really experiencing some different sensations in the body, really getting connected to your emotions and feelings, stuck things in your body. Can open up and heal pain, because it's all energy. And as we start to move this energy through our body, it starts to really, when we change what's going on within, everything outside of us starts to change as well, because it's reflecting what's going on inside is reflecting outside of ourselves. So I hope that gave you a little bit of an insight into experiencing the breath. And let me have a look. Just let me know how you felt and what was going on. I'm happy to even open up if you want to I feel like I could, yes. And that's a beautiful part. When you do start breathing like this, you open up this space and you didn't even think you could hold your breath for so long. Beautiful. Amazing. Nice.
Guys, just take yourself off mute and share what your experience was.
Yeah.
I've got itchy fingers. I don't know.
Yeah. And so what it starts to do is it starts to open up all this energy, and it moves down into your fingers. And when you actually start breathing for longer, you can find you'll actually start doing all these. Sometimes people will be laying on the ground with their hands in the air, and it's just all this energy that hasn't moved through your body, and it just starts to flow and open up all these channels through your body, and on a cellular level it just opens everything. So it's really powerful what you can experience through that circular breathing. And even doing it with the cold, like I like to do all my breathing very yin. A lot of the sort of Wim Hof, when they go into it's very yang breath. If you can keep your body in a really beautiful, calm state through what you're moving through, then your body doesn't have to heighten and change its experience, and then everything will be kind of calm. What we want to do is we spend so much time in fight and flight and holding on all the time. We want to really sort of expand and soften and really be with the breath. And the more we can do that in a very yin way, it just allows everything to flow, and we can soften into all of our breath, our emotions, how we feel. And it sort of takes us out of that fight and flight where it becomes really fearful, and, you know, we try and avoid all of that. So amazing, beautiful thinking. Yes,
Caitlin, did you want to share, Caitlin? You took yourself off mute before.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I just want to. Steve was running around laughing after saying, so I muted. Yeah, but I was just going to say, I just when you said, what do you feel? When you start breathing and you really notice what you're feeling in your body, I always get between my shoulder blades in the middle of my back a pain always whenever I do breath work or meditate or anything. It's straight away in that middle of my back. I feel it instantly.
So it's sort of coming from here, but it's straight through the back of it.
Yeah.
So think of that energy center here. If you're working here, this is your heart. So when we're thinking of the heart, we only really think of the front, but it actually moves all the way through to the back as well. So that can be just a disconnection here. And when we sort of disconnected from our heart, everything sort of tense up. So it could be that sort of protection mechanism that as soon as you start to really quieten everything down, breathe and open up that area, it's like, I don't feel safe. And your first instant is your body tenses up. So it's just breathing really consciously into that space in your back to really open that up and expand it. And just ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What is that feeling every time I breathe and expand? Why do I feel like I need to shut down? So ask your body, because you'll find when you ask the question to your body, it will either show you a moment in time. It could show you a time in your life, like when you were younger. It may even be a smaller version of yourself that is holding on to an experience or an emotion that you can then just sort of get to, in a sense, feel into that and see that for what it is, and reparent yourself a little in the sense of like going, oh, I can see why I'm holding on to that and why I have shut myself down, my connection to my heart, to myself, and why I need to protect myself from that moment. So to me, it feels like it's connected to your heart through the back.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you. That's lovely. Right? Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah. I'll think more.
Keep using that breath and focus it on, like when you're breathing, really open it up into the heart center and then breathe right into your back there. And just notice, even when you're sitting in the holds, just really focus your mind's eye into that area and just notice and just see it expanding and letting go in your mind's eye, and just opening up that space and just even ask or just notice if anything drops into your mind, a feeling or an emotion, and just work with that.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Does anyone else want to pop off mute and share how they felt during those 2 breathwork techniques? Come on, guys.
I will.
Go, Lulu.
I just felt that I had a lot more space.
Yeah,
just a lot more space that opened up, which is it's just what I needed at the moment.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful part. When you go within, everyone thinks they have to create more space outside, but it's really the mind that's limiting us and we feel overwhelmed. So as soon as you drop into your body and create space in the mind, just goes, oh, I've got no control anymore. And that's kind of like a protection ego mechanism. But just feel into the body, really drop and be present, and you'll find it creates so much more space and how you react and deal with things outside of yourself, when you can really go back within and just quieten everything down.
Yeah, that's it. It was beautiful. Thank you.
No worries. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So,
sorry.
I was just going to say, anyone else want to share? Claire, do you want to share?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I felt really tired and flat.
Yeah.
Really kind of, not exhausted, but just really, really tired.
Beautiful. And that can be because it can be the first time. What can happen when you start to connect into the breath and quieten everything down? The mind has a little bit of resistance, and a lot of resistance can be, oh, I'm really tired, I need to go to sleep, which is a sense, I need to go unconscious, I don't want to feel this, because we're opening up pathways that we've probably shut down over time. You know, we've been conditioned in so many ways not to feel and open up. And then our body has this kind of physical reaction, and people go to sleep or, you know, to shut down. And that's just your body's first reaction and resistance to sort of opening that up. So as you start to sort of practice that, just allow that to be exactly what it is, and just notice that tiredness and go, oh, okay, well, that's okay. You know, don't judge it in any way, because it'll just fuel that, and just know every reaction and feeling is perfect. You know what I mean? And that's beautiful that you created that awareness, because now you can go, okay, maybe when I'm starting to feel things, I shut down and I can go unconscious, and I can go tired. I can be really tired. And so that's creating that real heaviness and lower energy in the body. But what we've done is we started to shift that. So as you start to shift that, you're starting to feel these things again, and it can feel a little heavy, a bit stuck, a bit, you know, real sort of like, oh, I feel a bit tired. So just notice and journal and write, and even just come back to that sixth breath and just notice how you feel. You may have some, when you actually go past the tiredness, it may connect to something a little deeper.
Okay, thank you.
That's all right.
I'd love to hear from some of the boys. Who's going to speak up for the boys?
I'll speak up for the boys.
Go for it, Paulie.
This is probably not about what I just felt, but just maybe your opinions around what I may feel, and that is since isolation's been on, I've been exercising in the morning, and around 6 o'clock I have a hot shower outside. We've got an outdoor shower by the pool, and then I jump in the pool and do laps underwater. And through the summer, I can do 6 laps underwater. Now because the pool's not heated, the cold hits it. It's so cold underwater, my eyeballs get cold.
Yep.
I can only get 4 laps, and I've been trying to go, just push a little, get more than 4 laps. And I don't know if it's the cold that's making me go like that, because I'm relaxed going in. It's not, I'm afraid of the cold.
No.
But I just can't seem to get, I can only get 4, then I wait and then do another 2. But I'm just wondering if doing this beforehand, before jumping in, or while in the shower, to prep myself. And because you mentioned Wim Hof before. I don't know anything about Wim Hof. I've just heard about it. I think he's the breathing guy in the cold or something like that. And you kind of said, this is not.
There's a lot of cold immersion, and they do a lot of active sort of yang breath to get into the cold. And I think cold immersion is beautiful. And I also love do a lot of underwater stuff as well with the breathing. That's more rebirthing. But you could have your shower outside first, then turn it on to cold, and just start that breath work that we were just doing now, and adapt your body into that sort of cooler, because obviously it's going to help decrease inflammation anyway. And just notice how it feels in your body when you start to open that breath up. Getting the water in that same sort of yin state where you're sort of breathing and you're really connected, and then go under the water. So the
second one we were doing.
Yeah, try that and see what it feels like when you stand in the cold water before you get into the cold pool, because you're coming from the hot water into the cold water. Try and adjust it to the cold, start your breathing off and sort of really oxygenate it in. If you do 10 breath, hold it for 10, then get into the pool, do 20, hold it for 20, and then when you let go completely, really relax when you're doing the swimming underwater. So really feel like your body's relaxing instead of sort of pushing yourself to do it. Just feel like it's an effortless flow, because there's something in your mind, obviously you're getting to that sort of threshold, that barrier. So maybe if you just sort of open up, and do you have a feeling that comes through when you get, is it like a panic, or do you get frustrated, or?
No. It's funny because it's really weird to say, but because you've had a hot shower and then you jump in, it's like you're cold, but you're not cold. And when I get, the most favourite part is when I get out, I'm like, if my wife or somebody walked out, they go, it's freezing, but I'm like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
But I like pushing off the pool. I sound like an old man now, but I like pushing off the pool and just gliding until I get to the other end, and then turn around and push. I don't really swim. I do a big push and glide, get to the other end, push and glide.
Well,
so I just was wondering if this breathing thing would be.
I think it'd be amazing, because you'll be sort of really opening up that channel of the breath, and you're holding your breath anyway. So mean, you could even do the breath work in between your underwater swims. Do you know what I mean? Use that as your hold. Like, do the breath.
That's right.
See what that feels like. As long as you don't get too lightheaded, because you can get quite lightheaded when you start doing this breath. So you might be better off to do it out of the water, then jump into the water and see how you go and see if that really oxygenates and opens that up and gives you that further, like, but it will be the cold probably now that it's a bit of the shift and your body's not as relaxed coming from hot to cold. So notice that feeling. So if you start off with the cold and in your breathing and then sort of drop in, you want to keep that same state, you know what I mean? And so notice if your nervous system sort of, when you get into the cold, do you contract or are you working into expanding before you go into that? So you want to, it can be a really slight nervous system contraction, you know what I mean? But then that limits the breath too. It's sort of like you're not going to feel as flow, you know, it's going to sort of contract a little bit in the cold. So notice your body when you get in. Are you relaxed or are you contracting? Even if it's just like, oh, it's cold. Notice if it's that contraction or are you expanding and relaxing and just really deeply breathing, you know what I mean? So your body feels the same as it did in the hot water. So, and then it's not going to be such a impact on your nervous system when you just flow underneath the water then. And see if that helps, is in the holding and relaxing the body to feel the same as it did in the heat as in the cool. And you might get extra 2 laps.
Great, thank you.
That's all right, no worries.
Right, anyone else keen to share? Ask any questions? I've done the Wim Hof breathing before, Mel, and you know, it's been at the end of a really difficult arm session, and our trainer would put us through the Wim Hof and then get us to roll over and pump out as many push-ups as we could without breathing, so in that hold phase. And it was amazing to see people that through the session couldn't get like 10 push-ups out to all of a sudden now they're pushing out 30, 40, 50 push-ups. Like it's just amazing, guys. If you ever get the opportunity, try it at the end of a workout when you just, you know, you're spent, do that breath work and then roll over and pump out some push-ups. You'll be absolutely surprised by what your body can do because of that oxygen and energy that's flowing around your body. But what I find with Wim Hof, Mel, is that it can be very aggressive. Yeah. This one here, I felt so much calmer doing it. I felt more at ease. Yeah. And Paulie knows this. I have difficulty getting from my masculine to my feminine energy. And I just felt like that was definitely a much more feminine way to get the same result, but not as aggressive as the Wim Hof.
And I find we spend so much time, like you say, and especially for women and for men, that we're not dropping into that really soft part of ourselves where we can just be. And we're doing so much in our lives now that we do get stuck in that doing masculine, that really if we want to connect and flow and be really connected with our guidance and where we want to move next even, we have to be in that yin state, in that sort of more feminine connected state to ourselves. Doesn't mean that we can't use that doing part of and to drive that energy, but you want that to be your connection to push it forward, because you don't want to be pushing where you go to burnout. You want to be moving with the flow of like, yes, I'm inspired, my nervous system is calm, and I'm drawing it through and grounding it with the action of my masculine. So to connect with your body, you're coming from that really connected space where you're listening, you're connecting with who's in front of you or what you need to be doing, and you don't necessarily push all the time. It's like, what's going to serve me today? It's really important to ask yourself, is that going to serve me to go and do that, or should I do this, maybe more of a yin thing to do? Like, it's kind of breaking it up, because everyone is in this pushing, doing, you know, let's drive the shit and hustle it, you know what I mean? But then all of a sudden you're always going to get to this place that it stops you. You get to a threshold and you can't get past it because you're missing the guidance. You're missing that connection to maybe where you should have gone, you know what I mean? Because you keep pushing down the same pathway because that's always what you've always done. So it's dropping back into that place and just being for a moment and going, oh, is this going to serve me? Or maybe I should do this. Or just see what happens by doing it in a different way. And breathing is going to allow you to stay really present with that and present in the now moment. And that's the most potent thing out of all of it is to be really present in your body in the now moment, because that's how you're going to, because if you're not in the moment, you're either in the past or the future. Future is not going to help you because you can't control that, and we can't control what happened in the past. We can heal what's happened in the past to bring into the present moment, and then we can also manifest what we want in the future, but we have to let that go and just let it be. So it's this kind of like beautiful dynamic. We can only do it from here, and the breath work will just really bring you grounded and present in your body, and just help you shift, feel aligned, and feel more clear as well. And like you say, it can help you in any moment. So I just think the breath is your superpower, really, and there's just so many ways to use it. So just even notice, like, when you're walking around during the day, like, where am I breathing from? You know, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, oh, okay, I'm in my mind. Let me drop back into my body and just feel calm everything down, so I can just trust and be guided in the right direction instead of my brain starting to, you know, and then everyone gets it from after that because you're reacting, you know, you're not in that calm, centered space. So, yeah, but I'm doing a few different online breathwork sessions just over this time, and they're free at the moment. So if anyone wants to jump on, just I think I'm going to be doing another one maybe Thursday night, probably about 8 o'clock. It'll be a bit longer, it'll be a little different, but we'll be doing a little bit more, a longer connected breathing as well. So yeah, it'll just give you a little bit of a chance to sort of maybe explore it a little bit more. And then if you're on the Gold Coast and you want to come and do a longer one with me, or I do Skype sessions one-on-one as well. So, and I can take you through a longer journey of the breath work, and then we can focus it on exactly where you're getting stuck or what you're working on at the moment, that we can sort of guide the breath work into that. Yeah. So
love that. Awesome. So where can people find you? Can they follow you on Facebook? Are you on Insta? Do you have a website?
Yeah, I've got a website, melissamelrose.com, and then I'm the Melissa Melrose on Insta and Melissa Melrose on Facebook. So I'll send that to you if you like, and then you can post it up. And then if anyone's got any questions or even things come up after this that you're sort of unsure about your feelings or something that may have got triggered, or just let me know, because simply as what we did tonight, sometimes it can just trigger things and you're just a little bit unaware of what that could be. So just let me help you and guide you. And if you want to jump in onto any of my free breathwork sessions too, let me know, and I'll just send everything to you and you guys can jump on if you feel aligned.
Amazing. Thank you so much, honey. And we always finish with one last question for all our guest speakers. I know we've gone over time, but
I won't go, sorry, I'm hopeless.
That's all good. It was definitely worth every minute. If you could put, if there was a billboard and you could put whatever quote or wording or verbiage on that billboard for the world to see, what would your message to the world be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is there a favorite quote or something that you just really love?
Well, one quote that I used to love when I was younger was "Life is a daring adventure or nothing at all." So that was one that I used to go by. But I mean, for me now, I don't know if a quote, go within, the power's within, like, trust your breath. Like, you know, if you want to change the world, change within, you know, connect to yourself and use the breath as your superpower.
I love that. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much, my beautiful friend. Absolutely loved it. Everyone got so much value. Take yourself off mute. Let's thank Mel for coming. And we'll see you online.
Thank you.